The old boarding school stood like a silent guardian atop the hill, its stone walls holding countless stories of whispered secrets and youthful dreams. With the first snow of winter, a new student named Clara arrived. She was a small, quiet girl with eyes that seemed to carry the weight of a forgotten world. She never spoke, and more than that, she never smiled. Her silence was a heavy blanket, separating her from the cheerful chatter of the other children. Lila, with her ever-curious heart, watched Clara from a distance. She saw her sitting alone by the frosty window pane, tracing invisible patterns on the glass. She saw her in the dining hall, barely touching her food, lost in a world only she could see. The other children tried to include her, or offering her a space in their games or a piece of their chocolate. But Clara would only shake her head, her gaze fixed on something far away. Lila knew there was more to Clara's silence than just shyness. It was a sadness, deep and cold like the winter outside. One afternoon, Lila found a small, worn-out photograph that had slipped from Clara's pocket. It showed two girls, hand in hand, with identical bright eyes. One was Clara, and the other, a younger girl, was beaming with a gap-toothed grin. Lila gently picked it up and handed it back to her. For the first time, Clara's eyes met hers, and in that fleeting moment, Lila saw a flicker of emotion, a deep well of longing. "My sister," Clara whispered, her voice barely audible, like the rustle of dry leaves. "I miss her." That single whisper was all Lila needed. She finally understood. Clara's smile wasn't lost. It was just left behind, with someone she loved dearly. An idea sparked in Lila's mind, bright and warm. She gathered her friend Tom, with his knack for building things, and Sophie, who could draw anything she imagined. "We need to bring Clara's sister here," Lila declared. "Not for real, but in a way she can feel her." The children huddled together, their heads bent in a circle, plotting a surprise that would mend a broken heart. The next day was a flurry of secret activity. Tom gathered old sheets and cardboard boxes, while Sophie drew and painted with feverish energy. They worked in the old forgotten theater at the end of the hall, their whispers and giggles echoing in the dusty space. They were building a puppet show. Sophie painted a backdrop of a sunny field filled with daisies, just like the one in Clara's photograph. She created two puppets, carefully crafting their faces to look just like Clara and her little sister. That evening, they led a hesitant Clara to the theater. The room was dark, except for a single spotlight on a small, handmade stage. As the gentle melody of a music box began to play, the show started. There two little puppets danced across the stage, holding hands, picking flowers, and sharing secrets under a painted sun. It was a simple story, a story of two sisters who loved each other more than anything. Clara watched, her body perfectly still, her eyes wide. As the puppet show reached its finale, the little sister puppet turned to the Clara puppet and gave her a big hug. Then, all the children, hidden behind the curtain, made their own puppets pop up, waving and smiling. In the center of them all was Lila's puppet, holding a sign that read, "We are your family now, too." A single tear rolled down Clara's cheek, then another. But this time, they weren't tears of sadness. Slowly, like the sun breaking through winter clouds, the corners of her mouth began to lift. A small, shy smile appeared, and then it grew into a soft, genuine laugh that filled the entire room. That night, for the first time, Clara didn't sit alone. She sat with Lila and the others, sharing stories and chocolate, her smile a beacon of newfound hope. The old boarding school was still full of secrets, but now, it was also full of the sound of a little girl's laughter, a sound that promised that even after the coldest winter, spring will always find its way.